Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to yet another Nerd Escape YouTube show. And as always, we're going to have lots of fun with, well, we'll talk about a challenge. You don't see me don as Q yet. We also have some great reporting from Hayley, Hot or Not, and Star Trek news, and what have we been watching. But before I go on any longer, let's pop over to Hayley and see what she's at this week.
I'm Hayley for Quincy. Coming up, the latest controversy on the choo-choo dance. How many chews is too many chews? Well, you get to choose in our subspace poll. But first, the new hit single from newcomer Peanut Hamper. Here she is with her cover of I Quit. Okay, so what have we been watching this week or recently while we're waiting for new Star Trek to arrive? Chris and I have both been watching the first episode anyway.
Yeah.
Loki.
Wow. I've only watched it once. I do want to do a rewatch. This, I think, is going to have good potential for the simple reason it's quirky. It's not as you expect.
Yeah.
I think the way they bring Loki back from the dead, well,
wherever he was,
it was very well done, and this is a result of the Avengers doing their time jump back, because we never really they jumped out, but Loki, we did see Loki get the Tesseract. Yeah,
now hold on, he did get the Tesseract, but they needed that stone. How did they get the stone if he vanished with the Tesseract?
They jumped out of that timeline and went back further to Stark.
To Stark, yes. Yeah.
Obviously, Loki escapes from there, and there's a breach in the you know what I mean? The multiverse.
Yeah, so that branches off, doesn't it?
Exactly. Yeah. So I really it's quirky. Okay, it's kind of like WandaVision at the start. It's just a lot that no one knows what's going on. So I think one, they got the main thing right. How is Loki still alive? And I think they covered that really well. So I think if you're one of these, I think any Star Trek fan straight away. I know time travel is kind of like some people just don't get time travel, but if you've watched Star Trek, you should be used to time travel shenanigans. So it works.
Now the way the time travel was dealt with in Avengers really hurt my brain, because I am a Star Trek person. So obviously, you know, if you change the past, it's going to affect the future. But they are going a different route with the time travel in Marvel. So they're branching off into different timelines, but it won't change the one you jumped from. It'll just branch off. It's so confusing. So and
the multiverse is what they call it. And we've seen this before with, I suppose, DC would have been one of the first that really threw it out there with the Flash. They would have always kind of different multiverses, different Flashes. Earth 2, for example. Star Trek was one of them that changed, but I suppose if you look at 2009 film, there's kind of a prime example of a different timelines created. Well, that's the way they're saying it. We call it the JJ verse or the Kelvin timeline, but I think that's the easiest way to look at that kind of generation of Star Trek is it's
my hugest issue with the Avengers. So if you've seen, I hope you've seen Endgame, because I'm about to completely spoiler it. So Steve Rogers went back in time, put all the stones back, and decided to stay and have a happy life with Agent Carter.
Mm-hmm.
So, but if they're going with their own, it's branching off to a different timeline. So once you go back in time, you don't change what happens, you just branch off. Why was old Steve Rogers sitting there, having lived his life, if he had gone back in time and branched, he should have branched off. There shouldn't have been an old Steve Rogers.
True, but I suppose this is the whole chicken and the egg type thing, but he's completed the whole circle. He's returned everything. Then he goes back to where he wants to, lives his life.
Yeah.
Goes through that timeline.
But if he's lived it,
he's created, he's recreated another multiverse.
If he lives his life, then but if he lives his life, he won't be found frozen, and they won't thaw him out. He won't become an Avenger. So that should have been a different timeline. So they should never have met old Steve Rogers. Anyway,
well, I think probably he would have done things to have made sure the Avengers was created, because he would have known the path to a point. So I'd say the Avengers were up to a point. I don't know. It's a hard one. I never get too bogged down. But
melts my brain.
I think Loki is just quirky. I just love the character. I love the actor who plays him. Just looks the part. He's brilliant.
Oh, he's amazing. And he auditioned for Thor. Actually, he auditioned for Thor / Loki. He didn't know, which one it was going to be. So he was being Thor. He worked out and, auditioned as Thor. And that obviously...
perfect for Loki. And
he's
Thor,
amazing. He's amazing.
Chris Hemsworth is brilliant for Thor.
Yeah, totally Thor.
Yeah,
no, I agree. This is kind of it's a lot different from WandaVision. It feels like a different show completely.
Yeah.
But they have started off in a nice mysterious way. I did think that the first episode, haven't seen the second, it's out today, haven't seen it yet. The first episode was a bit slow. I was kind of losing interest a few times. I thought it could have been more interesting. It was a bit slow for me.
I did find it a bit slow, but I think this was kind of the same with WandaVision. You just kind of like your eyebrows were kind of like, what's going on?
Well, no, yeah, it wasn't so much.
I think when we get into an episode or two and we get where the show is going, I think we need to go back and do a rewatch. You'll probably find that episode 1 is really, really good, because you know what's going on. I just love the whole. All of a sudden, Loki realizes that what he thought was like the Infinity Stones was the be all and end all. Just they're irrelevant. So there's a higher power at play, which is really, really interesting. You know what I mean? So
that's cool. And they're all just sitting in a drawer.
Yeah, and like loads of them, and they're paperweights. It's not really going to ruin it for you guys. The one thing, like, if we looked at Captain America and the Winter Soldier now, or the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the thing between the difference, I think overall I liked that show, but it is exactly what you expect on the tin. Falcon picking up the mantle of being Captain America. You've got Bucky there. It's always going to be one of those action shows. I think they did fairly well, because you said it last week, like it's not really an original idea. There's only so many ways you can do a show like that. I think they did okay, but it's going to be the hard one for them to do. Whereas Loki, it seems very different, just like WandaVision, which is really cool. It can only be a good thing. So,
I love the quirkiness of it. I love anything quirky. I love anything that breaks the mold. But I don't know, a few times Loki made jokes that weren't really in character. It just, some of the dialogue was a bit forced, or I don't know. It didn't really gel for me. But I'm totally open, and I'm gonna stick with it.
Okay.
So and like you say, if you binge it, it's probably flows better.
Okay. So. Well, I think that's enough talking about Loki this week. I'm interested to see what the viewers have thought of the first episode of Loki. Just interested, like, as I said, like WandaVision was a bit of a kind of whoa, and that just turned out fantastic. I think it's very refreshing TV. So what are we on to next, Linda?
Right. Well, little matter of the challenge.
Yes.
So explain to everybody what is going on.
Okay. So I have just finished my week of work. It's the first of my days off. So I will be doing this challenge, and I will fit it in before I do the production for this show.
Okay.
For hopefully Sunday and not Monday. Might actually just stick with Monday at 8. Just gives me a day's play, and then you guys can all see a show, set on a time. So yes, I will have a cue card. So the great thing is here, you don't get to see it, Linda, until everyone else sees it.
Yeah.
So we can pick it up and we can comment on it then next week, and then you can reveal your pet project. I think yours is easier and more fun. Have you started yet?
It's hard now. It's really hard to think of, just narrow it down to one thing. So I think I do have one in mind. I'm gonna have to see if it works out with the Lego I have. I might have to change my mind, but I definitely want to do this one because it's cool.
Okay, well, I'll click my fingers. We'll go to a short ad break, and when we come back, we've got some news to talk about. Going to the holodeck? Don't be that guy in uniform, and don't be as cheap as Chris. You need Q's Continuum Costume Shop. So excellent, so amazing, so periodic. Q will have you looking so dapper. He will surprise your friends. He will even costume your whole merry crew. Yes, Q's Continuum Costume Shop, a click of your fingers away. So, Linda, you have, again, checked out the Subspace Relays, and you have found, and this, I had a feeling you were going to pick this one for this week. Yes. Yeah. Go on, take it away.
Big Prodigy news. Star Trek Prodigy is coming out soon, and they have revealed the main characters and the cast, and also some lovely shots of the show. It looks beautiful. It looks amazing. Mm-hmm. I'm so excited. They have given us character descriptions. There's a few familiar aliens in there. There's a few unknown aliens. It is all pretty cool. I don't see it. There's no humans. We don't have any humans. Janeway is the only human. This is so cool. I can't wait.
All alien lineup.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yes, this is
now,
cool.
This is one we've talked about Prodigy before, and this is one that, like, to me, it's nothing too important to me. I will probably check it out and see how it is, but I think for the likes of yourself and Damien that have young kids in the house, this has to be an exciting time for you guys.
Yes, I'm so excited. I actually forgot. I was going to show my son the pictures of the new pictures that were released, but it slipped my mind. And then the next morning he was like, "Mommy, you told me it'd show me images of Star Trek Prodigy," and he was really upset that I'd forgotten. So yeah, he's very excited. So we have the first character is Gwyn, and she is a 17-year-old alien, and the species is called the Vau Nakat.
Okay.
So I'm very interested to find out about that. The second character is Dal, and he is a 17-year-old, also an unknown species. So I don't know if he doesn't know what species he is, or if we just don't know yet. So that's another mystery. And then we have a Tellarite.
Cool.
So we have a teenage Tellarite called Jankam Pog, and I cannot wait. He's gonna be my favorite, I think. We do like Tellarites.
I'm just wondering, is this going to take place, say, around the start of the burn?
Ooh, so there's like a derelict ship, and it kind of fits into the
because we know Janeway's a hologram.
Yeah,
so
she doesn't have to be that era.
It could, and then if you do look at, say, the way Discovery went with the baby Kelpian living in a holodeck, you know what I mean? It kind of really kind of gives a kind of, would make a very really, so maybe 5-10 years after the burn, these kids come across a damaged Federation ship, go on board, holographic Janeway, bang.
That's a good point. That would tie the series in really well. Okay, Murph. Everyone is freaking out about Murph. We don't know what species they are. Some kind of a gunky slime ball.
I'm just going to say, when I seen him, I just went, "Oh Christ, lads, seriously, Orville."
Orville, yeah.
Like, why?
When I heard Murph, my mind went to Morph.
Yes.
The little Play-Doh guy.
Well, as in fairness, Orville is a rip on Star Trek, so I suppose kudos to Star Trek for ripping off.
Ripping it back.
And he is actually one of my favourite characters in Orville, so if it's anything...
Oh, I have no idea about Orville. Okay, the next character, Zero. That's a great name, because Zero is a non-corporeal, genderless, energy-based life form.
Okay, that's very cool for young kids.
Yeah, and Zero, it will be in a containment suit, so they'll be able to move around and communicate, but this is cool. This is crazy. And then the last character is Roktak, and she is an 8-year-old. I don't know how to say, because this is a species from the comics or from the books. Brykar?
Okay.
Brykar? Or I don't know how to say that, so correct me if I'm saying that wrong. But does anyone know how to pronounce it? Because it's only from the books. So there you go. A non-canon species is canonized.
Cool.
So a lot of exciting things.
Yeah, it's definitely, if it holds the values of Star Trek, there's absolutely nothing wrong with this. I think it's a great idea. It looks really, really cool for any Star Trek fan that has young kids. And it'll be interesting to see, does Star Trek fans like me start watching the show and enjoying it and getting hooked? That'll be an interesting thing. But we do have Lower Decks, so I'm not too upset, as I said.
Yeah. No, I think there will be lots there for the Trekkie parents that are in the room. Definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and I hope all Star Trek fans are have the frame of mind. This is a kids show, guys. So, you know what I mean? We don't have to go boo-hoo straight off the bat. You know what I mean? This is something a little bit different. TAS was completely different from what Prodigy is trying to be. Just like Lower Decks is completely different from TAS. None of these shows have ever said they were going to try and be TAS. So they don't want to be the animated series, but it's great to see Star Trek animation continuing on in different kind of directions, which is cool. So yes, looking forward to it, but I think like the likes of yourselves, Damien, anyone with young kids, can't wait. So anyhow, we're going to move on to Hot or Not this week. So without me going on...
Yeah, you have something.
So without me going on too much longer, let's take a look at the video clip. For this week's Hot or Not, we take a look to build the USS Enterprise NCC-1701D metal die-cast replica from Star Trek The Next Generation's Hero Collector Eaglemoss, which is over 70 centimeters long. Every month you will receive a magazine and 4 packs full of kit parts, and you get a detailed guide instruction with familiar parts, and you get to play along with screws and wires and everything to make up this fantastic ship. And if you like a little bit of background information behind Star Trek The Next Generation, sure, there's some information thrown into your magazine as well. Now, this will take you about 2.5 years to collect, 30 months, and if you're on the price pack that I'm on, which is €51, it works out at €1,500. So my question to you this week is, do you think this is hot or not? And will you be saying engage with the guys from Hero Collectors Build Your Enterprise D? In the hot or not, it was always going to come up. It is the Build Your Enterprise D by Hero Collector Eaglemoss. Now that's 2 plugs for these guys.
Yeah.
One week after another, and it doesn't mean they're always going to get the plugs. So, as I said in the video, at the moment how it's working out for me, I get 4 issues, $51.92 per month, and there's meant to be 120 issues. So that's going to cost you for this big D, which is 70 centimeters long, €1,557.60. Now, would you be interested in the parts build, Linda, or?
I would love to. Yes, that would be a dream to build my own, and it's the Enterprise D, so it's one of my favorite ships, and it's it's my Star Trek. It's TNG, so that's what I'm all about. I would never have room for it. It is way too big.
Yeah, it is. I
have kids, so not suitable for me at all. If I was in the position where I had room for it, I'd love to make it. Okay. Now, that is a huge amount of money for me. There's no way I could subscribe to it. No, I've never done a build. I've never done electronics. So I don't think it would be a first project.
Now,
for me.
I know talking to Damien, and he was a little bit worried about the electronics. This is a very, very straightforward plug-and-play kit. So there's nothing too complicated, as in the sense you don't have to have any fear of electronics on this. I have to say. I have my kits. I think I'm up to maybe issue 12 or past 12. I haven't started my build because I will be modding my build, and I won't touch it until I have all the pieces, and that's my preference. Now, I'm going to give 2 shout outs. There's a guy on YouTube, and I'm going to put down below. If you're looking to mod your kit, I recommend The World of Wayne and his Enterprise D. If you're looking just to build the kit as it comes, check out our very own Damien, the Irish Trekkie. So he's doing his build along thing. And then, even better again, if you're someone like me that's waiting, again, the guys from the Hero Collector Starship fan page decided to set up yet another page, and it's a great community for anyone doing this build, or if you're thinking of subscribing and joining later on. And that is, I'm going to get the correct name, because let's see, what did they call this one? Okay, it's Build the USS Enterprise D by Eaglemoss. And check out there, because there's a lot of other people that are actually putting up videos of their build. There's some,
and that's Facebook, isn't it? Facebook.
Yes, that's on Facebook. Yeah, and they're literally putting some mods, so if you want to get better lifeboats and stuff like that. Now, I know the big hullabaloo is spending 1,500 blah 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 for the kit. This is a monster size kit. This is 70 centimeters long. And if you look at the price comparison to any other ship that has been done before in this size, it's actually a bargain, because you're talking about $5,000 to $10,000 US. So I do think I think it's a good price, and I do think it's worth it. And there's different ways you can actually save more if you want to sign up for the year and so forth like that. But it's fun. You're building stuff. Yes, there's a few mistakes with it, but
yeah,
stuff that can be easily corrected.
I think a lot of people were a bit wary, and they didn't want to invest in it in case it got cancelled, or discontinued. So that's another thing. Yeah, maybe a lot of people might.
Yeah, I think somehow this is going strongly, and yet again, thanks to the guys for giving us another community output. So it's great, and this is what the channel's about sometimes, is giving shout out to people. But if you have this and you want some tips, advice, how to fix little issues, check the Build the USS Enterprise D by Eaglemoss. I'm going to leave the stuff down there, but it is great to see other people making the build. You can learn by people's mistakes, or you can learn where the tricky parts are, and maybe save yourself a half an hour instead of struggling where somebody else, like say Wayne or Damien, goes through it and you see. So anytime before I do a model build, I will check out about 3 or 4 different people that have already done the build, and it just helps me so much. So
I'm very jealous of anyone doing it. I know it's something I'll never do, but I would absolutely love to be to have another life and just, you know, be building that. And I've seen a video of the Ghostbusters one. So Ecto 1. So they, I think they're at the stage, somebody got to the point where they connected up. They just connected it and it started making sounds. And once it starts making the sounds, they're like, they start getting excited.
Yeah, it's like, if I had room and if I had more money, I would have absolutely so signed up. That looks so beautiful. They've done a great job on Echo 1. But I am going to say absolutely hot. I know there's a few issues with the kit, but I think for a price point like that, and as I said, thanks again to the boys for setting up a great community. You know what I mean? It will help people to, you know, maybe improve what Eaglemoss is putting out there. But as I said, there's 2 good videos for you to follow along. Damien is doing it as it's meant to be done, and Wayne is modding it. So 2 choices. Cool. And then come here, if you build it every time you get the part, that is fine. I'm not going to tell anyone what to do, either mod it or not mod it, or wait until you get all the pieces. That's just my preference. So
I think if I was doing it, I would probably have to do it bit by bit, or I would be overwhelmed. You'd be sitting there with bits, like they'd be in a box, and you'd be There's a couple of mods being done, and I kind of got, this should really start, but at the same time, it's too early, so I'm kind of happy enough to wait, you know what I mean? Because I think when you figure out exactly how the electronics are going to work, as I say, it is plug and play, it looks very simple. You can then start going, okay, well, do I want to use those lights? I might use a different lighting system. I'm going to be interested to see how the parts for the lights work, as in the saucer separates and stuff like that. So just to kind of see what additions I'm going to be adding on and how it all wires up. So but as I said, it is plug and play. Don't even worry about electrics, and you don't need to spray, you don't need to do anything with it if you're happy enough with what you see. But I'm calling it hot. That's it. I am gonna say not for me, but super 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 hot.
There we go. So what is okay, we are doing, am I skipping ahead? No. Sound of the week?
Well, yeah, let's get the sound of the week,
before we go into sound of the week, I want to give a shout out previous, so I think it was episode 3. I did say I only put it up on Twitter. I announced that Ian, the Scottish Trekkie, came close, but JD, John Dale, won. Bingo, totally in, and nailed it. You got the correct episode, so a big congrats to you. Woo. That was a good one. And we also have someone who got last week's one, and that's Nathan Von Alman. And yes, it was Ripper. So,
yay!
Let's have a listen to this week's sound of the week. So, Linda.
That could be a few things.
Okay.
I have a few ideas. I'm going to have to listen to it a couple of times.
Yeah, I'm not giving you any hints. Not giving you any hints. You're going to kick yourself afterwards. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay. I'll have another listen when I've had a coffee.
So, have we anything else to cover this week? Or
I think we have covered everything for this week, Chris. I cannot wait to see your Q cosplay.
Lovely. And we had no pesky HAL 900 this week interfering with our show. So, I think we've debugged the systems. Yes.
Yeah. I don't know how that happened.
Now, you must be related to Hayley or something like that, because the HAL was really going for Hayley and yourself. So,
wouldn't trust AIs now, to be honest. So let's hope we have no technical issues for the next 10 seconds while I say goodbye and join us next week. That's it. We'll take it easy.
Take care.